Hey guys, first of all, I would like to say thank you for coming to my TED Talk. My name is Jackson Crane, and I'm going to be discussing something that is very important to me and has polarized the world of sports for about the last decade or two now, and that is the impact of concussions in football and who is to blame for the extremely dangerous injury. The definition of a concussion is stated as temporary unconsciousness caused from a blow to the head. The term is also used loosely of the after effects such as confusion or temporary incapacity. So basically, when you hit your head hard enough, the brain will move around in your skull and it will cause damage to it, possibly permanent damage. Many doctors even believe that you can cause more damage to yourself and to your brain while having a concussion when you're doing homework or even playing video games. So, many believe that the basic cure for a concussion is pure sleep and rest and silence. Over the last 20 years, Andre Waters, Shane Dronett, Junior Seau, and others have committed suicide, and all of them with believed links to brain damage from concussions and CTEs. The death of Junior Seau in particular rocked the world. Many believe that he committed suicide because of the long-term effects of living with brain damage from concussions. When he killed himself, he shot himself in the chest rather than in the head so that doctors could study his brain and the long-term effects of concussions and how it affects the brain. Once this event occurred, the NFL went to work on creating a much safer league for the players. Many blame the NFL for allowing such dangerous hits to the head and so many dangerous hits just in general in the game. However, is it the NFL's fault for these injuries? Or is it the players' fault because they're not following proper safety drills that they've been taught their entire lives and different techniques to prevent these injuries from happening? First and foremost, to find out who we want to blame, we must look at the many issues that involve the cause of concussions. As much as we would like to blame the NFL and its rules or lack thereof, when it comes to the field of play, it is the players that, at the end of the day, are throwing their bodies around and risking their bodies and lives play by play. So in 2007, a young man by the name of Roger Goodell took over as commissioner of the NFL. Much of the backlash for Roger Goodell in his tenure is the amount of rule changes he has made to the game in favor of player safety. Many say that he's making the game soft and offense-oriented, and many wonder if the rules are helping the players at all. In recent years, the NFL has taken notice to the helmet-to-helmet collisions that mainly cause concussions, and have created extremely strict rules on players for helmet-to-helmet hits. However, in a New York Times article, the author states that although the amount of penalties have increased since the rule changes, that means that the amount of hits hasn't. This was a very interesting point because although it may appear that the league is safer now that there are more penalties being called, if the penalties are being called, that still means that the hits are occurring and that it's not necessarily stopping the players from making these hits. Many NFL players have also taken extreme possible career-ending injuries to their legs and knees, and this is strictly because defensive players don't want to get fined or sued by the NFL or suspended for the game because those are the punishments for helmet-to-helmet hits. So they'll go low, they'll tackle down your legs and knees, and you'll suffer a injury that could last your entire life and possibly end your career. So a lot of the athletes have come out and spoken about how they would rather have a concussion, deal with the injury, get over it, and get that all out of the way than suffer a leg injury that could last your entire lifetime and affect your entire life. And although that's a fair argument for the players, why is it an argument at all? From personal experience, when a new season begins in football, all the way through high school, the first drill that you would run when we would all put pads on would be proper tackling drills. And when you want to tackle, you want to keep your head up, hips squared, and explode through the chest, making sure your chest and your shoulders do the tackling rather than your helmet. The topic of concussions is an extremely polarizing topic in the world of sports. The knowledge of the injury is still in its bare infancy, and we are learning more and more about it every day. However, in the end, it is the players that decide to ignore their safety when on the field, and they risk their lives every play, every snap, every second of the game. And until the players finally decide to put their lives first and their bodies first, how many more steps can we take to prevent these injuries? So we're gonna finish up the video here with a video on proper tackling technique. Thank you for your time, and you have a good day.
All right, we're gonna try and make a form tackle, an idealistic situation tackle. Biggest thing that we wanna see you do is keep your feet underneath you, get as close to DJ as possible, sink your hips, keep your chest up, keep your chin up, see exactly what you're gonna hit. When the tackle starts, you'll thrust your hips forward, you'll rip your arms, you'll grab cloth, and you'll drive your feet forward. Here we go. On 1, set, hit. Good. Now, if we take a look here, the best part of this tackle was that Zach got very close to DJ. He was able to get lower than DJ. He keeps his chin up. He sees exactly what he's trying to hit. He makes a tackle with the shoulder pads. He brings his hips forward. He brings his arms forward, and then he drives on contact with a little bit of cloth in his hands, keeping the head out of the tackle